Dragons, not the 18% of game number 2 there. But man, that 30% I think got locked in before they saw the Morgan solo.
Yeah, I'm a little iffy with the Morgan solo also. I think the Warriors have actually crafted a slightly impressive comp with, I mean, bar the Apollo, which is something we've not really seen that much, but I think Apollo with that Silver Branch build is also very strong, or even just the Fail Not build still feels pretty solid. Now you have that double global potential with both your Hunters. And overall, like, you have this solo laner who should be able to bully out. Like, this is a tough matchup for the Morgan. If you ever get hit by any, the 1, the 2, the dash is very easy to hit, and it just blows up your invis. It's going to be a very tough matchup for Nika.
There's a lot of tick damage on the Warriors side, too. You got Khepri 2,
True.
the Jetstream, Phantom. It's going to be hard to play this Morgan as safely as you would like, but I think a lot of the pressure here sure to be on the transformations, right? You're thinking of Dardes playing this pick, and you're like, okay, yeah, he's going to transform at some point, and it's going to be dangerous, but I'm also really worried about his damage, because he'll just stealth up and delete somebody in the middle of a team fight. On the side of Nika, you're probably a little bit tankier on the Morgan just to stay safe, so I think there's even more value on these transformations.
Wait, this is also the first game we've got Lasbra on Maman too, right? I'm pretty sure every other game went to Dardes on the Maman.
Yeah.
So now we have kind of 3 players playing just brand new characters. The Morgan going over to Nika, Maman going to Laz, and Dardes taking that Tsukuyomi. So it's going to be kind of a big opening for the Dragons to kind of show what they're able to do with these characters.
The Dardes has played Tsukuyomi before. They did lose that game back when they played it, but certainly something that, you know, he's not completely unfamiliar with. I'm maybe even more focused on the Warriors draft, specifically around this Apollo. I mean, we haven't seen Apollo in forever, it feels like. What inspires this pick?
I would assume the inspiration has to come down to that Silver Branch buff. Yes, you can go the normal build, but if you're going to go the normal build, there's just better Hunters to be playing. And I think that's kind of the thing that sticks out to me, but the Silver Branch build on that Apollo does make a lot of sense. It does scale very hard. Yes, maybe the early mid-game not that strong, but the one-shot potential with that crit, that Silver Branch late game is going to be insane.
Asbra pulled back here by Phantom. Look at this rotation from Stock. He is over here at 2 minutes into the game. Lasbra dashes away.
Coast?
And Coast will fall. Lasbra will fall as well. First 2 kills on the board for the Warriors.
And with blue buff spawn.
Oh
wait, solo?
He dashes in. He
ages. Aegis is the tower shot. And with the blue buff spawning, we actually have a little bit of pressure on that side of the map. Does not look like they want the invade. They just want to confirm their own blue. Don't know where Nika is. But Nika not rotating is able to push that wave under. But, I mean, if you're getting that much value from the rotation, if you're able to get 1 assist, like, that is a worthwhile rotation, especially if you're not really losing much, like, when leaving.
I think we had a kill over in dual lane as well. Genetics got the last hit there. And this is where the Dragons are pushed up on the left side. Maybe get punished a little bit here. Genetics grabs Coast, no beads usage. I don't know if he had it, but the tick damage gets there, and sure enough, Coast has the beads up and available. So I guess just not respecting the damage, and the only Warriors get 2 kills across the board instead of what would have just been a first blood.
Yeah, seems like a little bit of a greed by Coast, thinking that he's going to live that, but Apollo with the audacity in the early game, like, that's his strength. Yes, his base kit, not all that strong, but if you can make good use of that passive, getting 100% attack speed after that 5th or that 10th auto, you have a lot of attack damage and a lot of strength in that 1v1. So a little disrespectful by Coast to kind of hold the beads, take the pluck, and the entire duration of that. I mean, he falls down for it. Now he's going to be a little bit on the back foot. Net's going to be able to get that Dev's gloves on first. Probably going to see Genetics get that Thieves a lot earlier than Mike, because he also got that first blood. So big advantage over in solo, and it goes to mid too because of solo's rotation.
These supports are interesting to me. Genetics, he's gotten this Khepri banned away from him a lot this weekend. I think he's looked pretty powerful on this pick throughout the regular season. And this PBM on this Charon, not a pick that he's necessarily known for, not a pick we've seen him on very often. And I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on the Charon. I'll hold that though. Still needs to use the beads if you're Coast, and this teleport was not there. It didn't stick. to Vaporish Coast, so he will get out of there. Still holds on to the beads.
Hey, those beads are going to be available and used at a good time soon, I can tell. But Panatom just barely missing that 3, does not allow him to chase down Coast on that ult. So far, a lot of early pressure out by the Warriors, and not really on like an early game slanted comp. I think their comp scales very well. So they're just making plays and winning with those plays that they're making. Because you look across the board, when you think about the early game the Dragons have, you wouldn't expect to see First Blood happening in duo.
Panatom under some pressure here. The ultimates come through, and they will find the first kill for the Dragons. But another Sot rotation. It is 5 minutes into the game, and Sot finds himself over here again. Lasbra under some pressure as Netroid rotates in as well. And the Oni Warriors in 5 minutes, they've got 4 people here in the mid lane, 2 ADCs. This would be unprecedented to try and take a tier 1 tower this early, but they are showing they are not afraid to rotate.
And not afraid to use those globals on both sides. We have Apollo ulting in the mid, we have Nika rotating with that Chernobog ult because he sees SoloOrTroll in that rotation. And we kind of see what's going to be happening in the solo lane. It's going to be very hard for Nika to get that prio to be able to rotate before SoloOrTroll going to be getting poked down, and there's not going to be as much Solo's going to be able to go. And you can tell with the builds, as you point, the Pythags versus the Chronos Pendant in this matchup, very, very Pythag-sided. Yes, maybe there's a little bit more poke potential on the side of the Chronos Pendant, but the sustain, the survivability the Pythags provides, and then on top of that, the aura when you fight on that Pythags, it's going to be through the roof for Solo.
I have to keep track of this build for Nika. This is not the standard mage solo build that we have, so I mean, I'm asking the question, will he even go defense? Will you even try to be a hybrid character? I'll have to revisit it a little bit later on, I think, but at this point, some rotations early from SoloOrTroll. That's really surprised me how he's playing this lane. We had a 2-minute and a 5-minute rotation from a solo laner, which is pretty atypical of how that lane usually gets played.
Yeah, and you think about how he's going to be able to do that, but actually a fight breaking out mid.
Wow, Aegon under some pressure here, blink in from Lasbra. Dardes doing some damage as well. Genetics with some solid peel right there. Still haven't seen that Khepri ult have to be used quite yet, but I think it's, you know, now that Genetics is rotated, it makes the mid 3v3 a little bit harder to get a pick there. So we'll hold that for a second. Netroid thought he was going to look for a little bit more damage, but not sure he's got the same 1v1 potential on Apollo.
Yeah, the 1v1 potential with Apollo comes down to the ultimate ability being the start. And actually, Panatom blinks in.
Sot is here again as the teleport goes through.
He's all in it.
And Mike is looking for something. Huge ultimate from Dardes, gets through 4
Solo?
members there, but SoloOrTroll is doing it all on his own on the other side, and Dardes won't find the kill. A 3-for-nothing swing for the Oni Warriors, and they're looking for even more as Nika will fall as well. 4-for-nothing at 8 minutes for the Warriors.
And so many rotations by the Warriors. You said it. Solo's here again. Baffled that Solo has showed up now 3 times prior to 8 minutes. And it comes back to how much pressure he's allowed to have in this lane. He can clear and then walk over. And Nika's not able to chase through the jungle because at best, SoloOrTroll is waiting around the corner. Ultimate is getting wasted by Nika to try to avoid a lot of Solo's damage because at his current point, Raijin has one-shot potential onto characters that have no protections. And right now, Nika, no protections. Going into that Deso, I'd assume maybe Apostle Divine just to be able to fight back into the sustain that SoloOrTroll has, but no defense gone for yet for Nika.
I think this poke really to come through. You can't necessarily take the fight if you're Nika, right? You never want to be just point-blank trading with the Raijin, and so it's like, okay, if you're not going to trade with me, I'm going to trade with your mid laner and see how you feel about that. Like, I'll just walk over and see how that goes for you. And so far, going heavily in favor of the Oni Warriors. Pre-10 minutes, this is almost a 3,000 gold lead, and experience lead, that's coming through as well. You've got a level lead in that mid 2v2 as well as the solo lane. Over in the dual lane, still have a small lead for Vaporish Coast. He's been left alone over there, but I mean, to get, that was almost a deicide at 8 minutes. It only wasn't because Post and the ADCs just haven't rejoined the fray.
Yeah, I mean, 4 kills that early into the game is rather surprising. Getting even that close to a deicide, unless you're fighting on an objective, that's usually the only time you see it that early. But I kind of wanted to shout out Panatom quickly. This Susanoo's gotten nerfed recently, and Panatom is still willingly playing it and making great use out of it. Actually, a 3 on the left side. Lasmer seems to just be kind of take some pressure off. Shield buff is spawning. But I want to see this Warriors team move this pressure towards an actual objective. Yes, they're winning these fights. Yes, they're actually taking, you know, and forcing the Dragons into awkward positions, but they're still not really pushing their lead that much. It's kind of stagnated a little bit. They've not really gone for a Gold Fury. Yes, they have the Tier 1 tower, but they could be blowing this game out of proportions a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it was last game that was maybe a little bit interesting in terms of the scaling. A big Fire Giant steal into sort of a game end, maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, comes out of nowhere. In this one, yes, a lead for the Oni Warriors and pressure on map to be sure. But what are your thoughts on the scaling of these compositions? Oni Warriors maybe feeling a little bit easier to execute, but I mean, without these 2 traditional tanks from the Dragons, what does their fight look like a little bit later? Hold that though. Dardes needs some help potentially. Maybe it's Sot who needs the help as he is in mid once again. And he looks like he's gonna make it out. He almost jukes the ultimate, but he's still alive. And Pagon comes in and takes down Dardes. PBM is here to be taken down as well. Nika comes in, at least finishes off Sot. But now everybody chasing him down, and despite the triple stun, a double kill for Pagon. Once again, the Warriors on top.
And these globals, they're just making great use out of them. They're not 2v2s or 3v2s. They're going to be more than that because of the rotation prowess of this Warriors team. And you're asking kind of how these teams scale, what the late game kind of looks like. And it seems to be kind of up in the air. You've got double Hunters on one side, and then you've got almost triple Assassin on the Jade Dragon side with the Morrigan, the Maman, and the Tsukuyomi. I mean, so far, this Tsukuyomi, 0-3-2. Level 11 just ticks over to level 12, down 2 levels to this Chernobog mid. If you think about the late game of a Chernobog and what he can kind of do, it's at least somewhat matched by the Morgan.
Pagon under some pressure here. Lasbro off the mark with that dash. He goes right through Pagon. He does find the kill, though. And SoloOrTroll trades it back, so you at least get that small trade for the Dragons, something they might have been looking for. As now, with the beacon spawning, 12 minutes in, 2 versus 2, but all the pressure still in the hands of the Oni Warriors. They want to step up to this, and it looks like they do. You've got Genetics on the Khepri. Panatom perhaps looking for a little bit more damage there, but so far nobody really willing to use this global pressure to join him. Maybe Pagon. Once he respawns, he'll be looking for this ultimate. Right now, though, Genetics, he's just hanging out, man.
Yeah, this full Thebes, full Salva on Genetics is going to make him very tanky, and as you're calling for, Pagon ults in.
Ults in and looks for Dardes, has to use the beads early, but Pagon dives into the wall and avoids the wave. Dardes has to go back in, but will lose his life in the process. Mike has to look for the escape, but now with Netroid on the ultimate 4 here, and certainly will find the support. They take down Sot on the other side of things, so a 2-for-1, but pushing for a tier 2 at 13 minutes.
And with 4 strong here and Coast with no way to answer, this tier 2 is going down at 13 minutes. And with that, Pyro is available, Beacon is available, a big swing available for the Warriors here. And also on top of that, even this Gold Fury is something they can look at.
Yeah, with this double Hunter composition, I would expect them to maybe start asking some of these tougher objective questions a little bit earlier on in the game if they want to play around those. Gold Fury up. Pyromancer did just spawn. They take that down if you're the Oni Warriors. So now Runic Bomb in the pocket of Genetics. This might be a pull for the Dragons, though. Genetics is around, Panatom in the vicinity as well, but 4 strong for the Dragons, and Nika coming to join the fray, but will not give them the power they were looking for. All the while, Sot is still farming over in this right-hand side.
A potential 5v4 available for the Dragons, but they opt to play it a little bit slower, rotate Nika back to the solo lane. Maybe they want to make use of that global potential he has with the transformation into the Apollo or the Chernobog, because SoloOrTroll's not going to be able to match that global potential. He has to rotate first. And while we've seen him rotate a lot this game, It's the difference walking to mid lane and walking to this Gold Fury. It's almost twice as far away from Solo. But with the clear potential he has and the rotation prowess and just prio he has in this lane, it wouldn't be too surprising to see him clear out another wave and then walk over, especially with it being the only objective available on the match. He got the tier 1 tower. There's no real reason to be over there. Let's get ready for this Gold Fury. If you're the Oni Warriors, you're up about 5K. Let's try to push this a little bit more.
Aggressive positioning here from the Oni Warriors. Not where you might expect, though. Gold Fury's up. They've got 3 on the right-hand side instead. We're the Magi's off of Nika. You got the dash in, but this might be a re-engage. Jade Dragons 5 strong. On this right-hand side, the double root and the wave hits 3, but the dash from Sot and Netroid joins him in the pack. Pagon comes to the fray as well, and Dardes is in on the backline. Nika has the transformation, but the real Dardes is under some pressure as well. Nika looking to fall soon, and will find the last auto. A 3-for-0 deep in the enemy jungle.
And this happens every once in a while if you're a Warriors fan, where you see them kind of flash back to season or phase 1 Warriors, where they are just trying to fight and outskill you everywhere. And that is what they are doing this game. They're pulling this Fire Giant 3 strong.
Dash in from Anatom. He's looking for the 1v2 and he won't find it. Instead, he will fall, and that might give the Dragons an opening. Low on the Fire Giant, need to look for the steal. The Warriors, they secure the FG, and they find the pick onto Mike as well. 4 strong on that Fire Giant at 16 minutes.
With this Fire Giant now, the opportunity to push down right lane. Mike is dead for 15. And only 1 ult available. Looks like a 4v4 fight might break out here with Lasper looking to behind.
I'm not sure if this is even a fight that the Dragons want to take. They say yes, though, and the ultimate from Dardes starts things off. He's getting punished, though. Nobody's able to join him. It's only Lasper, and he's there a bit late. He has to try to dash to safety, but Sot will find the kill. And for trying to defend their tier 2, they lose 2 in the process, and now have minions to push on the right-hand side. Netroid in, ult from Pagon as well, as Nika will not make it out alive. Tries to ult himself. That's 3 down now for the Dragons. The Oni Warriors still pushing.
And with only 2 alive, Fire Giant strong on 4 of these 5 members. Phoenix starts to get pushed down a little bit. Nika solo dashed it in.
Ghost trying to ult away. You get Sot with the kill, though. It's only 17 minutes
They're still
into
going.
the game. They've got a minion wave on right, and they're looking for the Phoenix. They will find it. These low respawn timers, this could be dangerous for the Oni Warriors. They have to be careful on the overstay. Looks like they won't try and push for anything further, but I'm not sure you need anything further, man.
Nope.
That's 18 minutes, 2 Phoenixes down.
I mean, we were talking about 3,000 gold just 4 minutes ago, and now it's skyrocketed to almost an 11,000 gold lead. Phoenix is down on the right side, and we have a bunch of towers still available on left. Gold Fury is still available. Pyro's still available. This gold lead could skyrocket to 20K by the next time an actual fight happens.
I think if you're the Oni Warriors, you're not, I mean, you're pretty happy
with
how things have gone. Yeah, I think maybe you get the Pyromancer, neutral objective, maybe you get the Gold Fury. That'll be on the map. You try to push your gold lead a little bit ahead. But this is 11,000 at pre-20 minutes. 2 Phoenixes down. You still have all the towers up and left. Blast for the Oni. I mean, what are they doing?
How are they not killing the towers?
Right. I mean, you still got towers up on that. They really got to clean up that gameplay. I mean, if you're the Dragons, what is the way back in at this point? Are you just relying on a mistake?
Stop fight. Well, I guess at this point you're kind of forced into fighting just to try to trade like a 1-for-2, 1-for-3 because you are so far behind. But taking all these fights into the Warriors and losing all of them as bad as they are, Pagon actually ulting in.
Pagon ulting into Mike, and he's getting chunked by the autos. The drums not in range though, and Post instead becomes the focus. And he'll be taken down by Anatom. Pagon finds Nika at the same time, and they don't want to wait any longer. Frenzy gets popped at 19 minutes. They're looking for the Titan. Jade Dragons trying to fight back. Dardes into the back line, taken down. Lasbra and TBM, the only members left alive, and they will not have enough. Pre-20 minutes, the Oni Warriors find the clean sweep.
24-5 for the Warriors. Every fight goes the Warriors' way. At worst, they lose 1 for like 3. The rest of the fights are almost wipes. We're talking in deicide levels like 2-3 times before 20 minutes. That is insane.
Before 10 minutes.
Yeah.